Hello, welcome back. Yes, we're back, and today it's all about making magic items. And I thought gems, pearls, crystals, sort of things that you use sort of once would be a really good way to sort of get things moving. Because consumable magic items are one of the best things you could possibly create, right? So yeah, I am definitely going to be doing a lot of this today. I really want you to share in that process and be part of that. I'm going to put up a poll, so feel free to take part in that poll. And I would suggest grabbing some food, some drink, and making sure you are comfortable because we're going to crack into this. We've got a lot to do and never enough time. I apologise for being a little bit late. These things happen, but we are ready to go now. So let's start, shall we? Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games. Am I a little bit under the weather? This is my last day before I go on holiday, so no, I'm all right. I'm excited. So we're going to do magic gems, magic pearls, magic crystals, magic stones, anything that's kind of like a small mineral of some kind, essentially. I want to try to make as many things as we can. The target is always about 20 if we can in the time that we have, and we have just under 2 hours to do all of that. And I want to make them so you can potentially put them into any tabletop role-playing game. That's a big ask, but we'll certainly try as hard as we can. Hi, Fred Hoover. You're listening, but you're busy. Not a problem. Let me just put into here. This is my prompt that I normally put in when I'm doing this. So hashtag, what are your magic gem, pearl, crystal, and stone ideas? And we're going to try to keep it simple. We're going to try to keep them common. We're going to try to make them low power so that you can use them rather than worrying about using them. And let's make them consumable. Hello, Shy X. Consumable. Now, why consumable? Because if you make a mistake, it's only going to get used once and then it's gone. So you don't have to worry about it. It's like I get to make a magic item, and if I balls it up and it makes a big problem for my game and I have a whole lot of issues, well, I don't have to give out that again, and it's already gone because there was only one of them. So I think that's a really good place to sort of start with this. So that's what we're going to aim for. We're going to try to target that. Okay. I get the distinct feeling that today is a day where there's a lot of people online, or there are technical issues, or is it my imagination? I don't know. I think everything is running properly. I'm assuming it's at YouTube's end. So I have a document that I have prepared that we're going to work through and try to make as many things as we can. Okay. But I want you to share your ideas. Start firing away, and I'll see if I can turn them into a magic item. And if I can't, then I can't. But yeah, that's what we're doing for today. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, and I like making consumable magic items because I can be a little bit more free with that whole process. It's much more forgiving. Can I just say that? It's more forgiving. I can make more mistakes, and it won't be the end of the world. I know I guess that's a strange thing to say. Like, I like when magic items allow me to make mistakes, and I don't need to freak out if I make something that people really love, but it just shouldn't be in the game. You know what I mean? Okay, so here we are. This is what I have here. I've just taken magic glove that we made a while back, and I'm going to just retool it, because one of the things I would really like to do is have gems and pearls and crystals that you can throw that kind of just blow up with some sort of energy, some type of energy. Now we could make one that does all of those things. So you could pick what sort of gem it is. That would be quite fun. Like, then you don't have to worry about, like, okay, is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? Da 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 da. Rather than having a separate gem for every single thing, we could have one gem that covers all of them. So maybe we'll call it elemental gem. an elemental gem. And I had a look at the various gems that are available already. The elemental gem, oh, it already exists. That might be a problem. We might have to call it something else. This gem contains a mod of elemental energy when you take, right, so you've got these things, so fire, earth. I don't really know that that's, maybe it's not that. It's not elemental, it's energy. I think maybe it's energy. Let's make it energy. It's got to be something else. We've got to call it something else. Can't be elemental. Because, maybe we do have to define them and break them apart a little bit. Because I don't really feel like I want to have a gem that does air, summons an air elemental. I'm not trying to summon an air elemental. I'm trying to sort of just make it blow up. So maybe I do have to define them as something in particular. So let's start off with the lightning gem, lightning pearl, lightning crystal. Let's just call it the energy gem. Energy gem. That's probably the better way to go. Okay, so they're listed as common, so wondrous items. That's good. So I know where I'm standing with this, and we have in here. So the elemental gem summoning elementals, fabulous gems, uncommon. What does this do? Deception, not really my idea. I'm not really into that. Not really interested at all. Okay, gem of brightness. So it's basically just, it's a light with 50 charm charges. Well, I mean, we can make a gem that produces light. That's not, but I don't know that we need to call it gem of brightness. And why would we have to be uncommon? We can do something a lot less powerful than that. Light gem, light crystal, something like that. Gem of seeing, well, so that already exists. The spell gem, we're not going to make that then. And there's a lot of spell gems here. Rubies, quartz, there's a whole bunch. Okay, so, alright, so I've got an idea of where we're going with this. Okay, I don't think we need to worry about attunement because it is going to be a single-use thing, so we're going to get rid of attunement. This is one of those times, you know how so many of the magic items that you have had, the permanent, like you put them on, you're using them, you're wearing them, and you get to use the effect all the time. Well, now we don't have to worry about them reusing it because it's going to get used once, and that's it. When you use an action to throw, this gem up to 30 feet, it explodes in a shower of sparks doing when you use an action to make a ranged attack, this within 30 feet. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we're good here. When you use an action to make a ranged attack within 30 feet, this gem explodes in a shower of sparks doing now 1d8 lightning damage. Sparks, okay. Okay, I think we can actually just take this. Go here, lightning damage. damage. Okay. Okay, so 3 feet. So let's just get rid of this part. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage. Okay, so sparks. So let's get rid of this. Well, I think we've got one sentence that does it all. Covers everything. When you use an action to make a ranged attack within 30 feet. This gem explodes in a shower of sparks. Okay, I need to do there. There's one other thing I need to put in here. On a hit, on a hit, hit, one creature or object takes 1d8 lightning damage. Okay, there we go. That's it. Right, we've got it. Okay, so that's our energy gem, which is basically lightning. Okay, so we've got that nailed down. That wasn't too hard. Now that we've got that one, we can kind of look at some of the other things. Now, do I want to call it energy gem or want an energy crystal? Let's make it a crystal. Okay. And I'm going to do fire as well because it's really obvious that we probably want to have fire as well. So we'll do one for fire. Same kind of mechanics, a little bit different. And that's the gist of that. So fire gem, fire crystal. No, I think fire gems. Fire pearl, fire gem, fire ruby, fire ruby, fire ruby. Okay. And use an action to make a ranged attack within 30 feet. This gem gem crystal. Okay, so gem explodes in a shower of no, it doesn't explode. Explodes in a pillar of fire. On hit, one creature or object takes. Now let's just make it really easy for ourselves. Fire. Do I need to stipulate that it's a one use item? I'm not going to do that for now, just because I just feel like it should be blooming obvious that you can only use it once. But I'm aware if you're playing 5e, you've got people who are so pedantic that they will argue the point till you're blue in the face. So right now I'll just leave it as it is. I'm kind of wondering how something like Shadow Dark approaches this, because I mean I've been using a lot of their magic items recently. Bead of Force. So here we go. Bead of Force is a good example. Bead, gem, whatever. You can throw this bead at one target up to near distance. If you hit, the target becomes caught in a resilient sphere spell. Okay. All right. So, and it doesn't say anything else after that. So I'm assuming that means that it is used. You're only going to get to use it once. So they don't state. That's a crystal ball. Do we have something that is a gem as well? I'm sure 5e is Pearl of Power is something you reuse, so that's not something we're going to go into because you're not really throwing, it's not exploding. I think the word exploding sort of suggests that it's gone, it's destroyed, it's no longer with us. It's gone to the afterlife. But yeah, there aren't a lot of gems in that system. Okay. All right, cool. Let's do that. I'll come back to this in a second. Let's go have a look at chat and see what you have cooked up. What do I need to sort of bring across? So Shy X is here. Fred Huber's a patron and a moderator. Thanks for being here, buddy. I know you can only listen. Cameron, hello, Cameron. Donuts the Mighty. can I just say your name is really cool? I like Donuts the Mighty. It reminds me of Dungeons and Donuts. When I was I wanted to take the piss out of Wizards of the Coast. But Donuts the Mighty, good one. I have a Anthea Nex gems in my world. They are shattered remains of a god's prison and can be used in place of spell slots to cast spells. I see, okay. I don't like spell slots, so I don't really want to make a magic item that leans into spell slots, even though I know 5e has spell slots in its system, whereas Shadow Dark doesn't. And then, of course, Pathfinder has spell slots, but they work differently again. And then Castles and Crusades is different. In Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's different again. A Psychic Crystal might be fun. Okay, so what is this Psychic Crystal going to do? I'm not against the idea, I just need to know what is that Psychic Crystal up to. Are we talking about like a telepathic crystal, or one that allows you to communicate with other people? Is that what you're talking about, or are we talking about something else? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I need probably just a little bit more detail on that one. But other than that, I think I'm caught up on chat. Okay, let's go back to my page and let's just keep smashing our way through this. I want to just get rid of all of the really obvious things, which are usually you throw it and it blows up, or it does some sort of thing. Lightning, energy. I feel like it's kind of like a shock. Do I want to do anything else with this? On a hit, one creature or object takes 1d8 lightning damage. I'm tempted to do something else with this, but I won't. I'll leave it. Fire. I was tempted to have it continue to burn, but that would make it very complicated, so I'm going to leave that as well. I'm going to take this, though, and I'm going to go with, is it Ray of Frost, or whatever the heck it is, that spell? Let's do something like that. So what would you call that? That would be called a frost crystal, frost gem, frost pearl, frost crystal, a cold crystal. Cold crystal kind of suggests something else, though, doesn't it? It kind of suggests that we're dealing with a different animal. So cold crystal feels like it's just making it. It's just cold, but it's not necessarily a thing that you would. Well, no, that's not true. It's a nice alliteration. Let's go with cold crystal. Cold crystal. Oops, that ain't the word. Try again, Fred. Cold crystal or frost gem, frost crystal, frost pearl, frost crystal. Yeah, it's got to be one of those. I don't know which one. When you use an action to make a ranged attack within 30 feet, the crystal shatters. Releasing cold ice shards. Okay. On hit, one creature or object. Okay, so I've got here target. I don't have target here. On a hit, one creature or object takes. Now, object takes fire damage. Okay. There, get rid of the target. Don't need the target word. Okay, cool. Right, now, Let's do less damage. Because I'm pretty sure that, is it Ray of Frost? Which is under R. Pretty sure under R, Ray of Frost. I think it has a slowing effect, right? So you can't, you slow down, your movement slows. But that's a pain in the ass to be tracking the number of feet that you can move. So what I would much prefer to do is to simply stop your movement completely. Okay, on a hit, one creature or object takes, say, cold damage and is frozen to the ground. Frozen. And it's frozen in place for 1 round and can't move but can attack or cast spells. Something like that. On a hit, one creature or object takes 1d6 cold damage and is frozen in place for 1 round and can't move and but can attack or cast spells. Okay, so there is our cold crystal or frost crystal. Okay, so this is working out fine. Let's keep going. I think we probably have to do the light crystal or the light gem. I'll make that later because I'm sure I've got magical effects for light coming out of my ears, so I'll come back to that. I don't know exactly what to do with that yet. I've made 2. Let's make another 1. And then we'll see what you guys have cooked up, anything that I can use. Back here. Going through, I often do this, is just go through and sort of pick a cantrip and turn it into a magic item. I don't know that I want to do one for acid. Like an acid, you know, that does acid damage or burns through material or anything like that. I'm not sure I want to do one for acid, like acid splash. So we'll leave that alone. Chill, well, we've already got one that does cold damage, and so I feel like that's kind of going in the same direction. I know that does necrotic damage, so it's, but yeah, let's just leave that. We've got one for fire. I've got dancing lights here, which is basically light, and we've got one for bonfire, which is fire again. A crystal. What do we got here? We could do, is there anything in Druidcraft? Is there anything that we could sort of mess with? You create a tiny harmless sensory. No, I don't know that any of those sort of work. Turning out a light, snuffing out a light, or lighting something with a crystal. I kind of feel like we've done that to death, so we might leave that as well. I'm tempted to have a gem or a crystal that can allow you to do something else, like maybe see something. I just don't know what, because it would have to be very small. Okay, Eldritch Blast is force damage. I don't want to do anything of that. Elementalism, Encode Thoughts, Firebolt. We've got one that does fire. Friends. No, we'll leave that. Frostbite, Friends, Green Flame, Guidance. Now we've done Guidance before, and I suppose a gem that allows you a benefit in terms of guidance would be a fun thing to do. If we're doing that, it's uncommon. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think what we will do is we will, if we do something like that, which we can, let's build it around a +1, which would push it, or advantage, which makes it uncommon, not a common magic item. it would be something you could reuse. Or is it a one-off? Let's make it a one-off. So it's no attunement whatsoever. You only get to use it once. I like that idea a lot more. And yeah, okay. So let's, what have we got here that we've done in the past? Which is sort of giving you a bonus to ability checks. Okay, here we go. So let's take something like that. Go copy. Go up. And working off guidance, let's go here, paste. Windows item won't mean anything for other systems other than 5e. We'll make it uncommon. We'll do this, and we'll call it a skill something. A skill gem, a skill crystal, a skill pearl, a skill stone, skill gem. Okay. While holding this gem, you have a +1 bonus on any ability check. On any ability check. Let's just do that. The gem disappears once it has been used. I haven't tied it to an action, so that will eliminate a lot of headaches. You don't have to worry about bonus actions, free actions, using your main action. It's probably not something you're going to use inside of, what do you call it? You're probably not going to use it inside of something like combat, because it's an ability check. And you only have to really worry about it once. Now, do we want to go +1 or do we want to go advantage? While holding this gem, you have advantage on any ability check. The gem disappears once it has been used. Let's be a little bit more generous. Skill gem. Okay. Alright, so I've done 2. 2's alright. It's not brilliant, but it's enough. Let's go back to our chat and see what is being cooked up over there. Aha! Hello, Derp. How are you? Nice to have you. Derp is a patron and a moderator. I'm going to put a lozenge in my mouth so I can keep going. What do you got here, Cameron? It has been a while. A psychic crystal. Maybe a crystal ball if we are going high level stuff. I don't want to go high level stuff. Can we do something with a psychic crystal that's lower level? I think that would have something that would be interesting. A soul gem. Right, okay. I think the entity would be best played by Eddie Murphy. Standing stone. Like a wobbly weeble toy. Oh, I see. Magic stone. Does magic damage, can be thrown or used with a sling. Well, I think the reality is we're looking at, we probably do need to make a magic stone that just does magic damage. So yeah, let's build that so you can use it. Paste it. Okay, cool. And then the soul gem. I'm a little unsure what we're doing with the soul gem, but I will mark it down. And then we've got this psychic crystal idea, which what's a nice way of doing this? I'm trying to think how it might work, and I just can't. Yeah, for the life of me, it's not clicking. But I think we can make magic stone, light crystal. I'll get to at some point. Okay, all right, cool. We'll keep throwing your ideas out there, and I will keep jotting them down. So I'll mark that off. There we go. And then the great thing about a magic stone is you won't get to use it again. Okay, so let's take this one. Paste it. It can be common when using an action. You can use an action to make a ranged attack with a sling. You can use an action to make a range. Okay. With the stone in a sling, or throwing it up to 30 feet. 30 feet. Okay, you can use an action to make a ranged attack with the stone, and a sling, or throw it up to 30 feet. If the stone hits a creature or object, it counts as magical damage and then disappears. Okay. Yep, that was simple enough. Cool. All right, what else do we do? That's one. Going through these spells, we did something around guidance, didn't we? We got the skill gem. Next, we need something else. Gust, nah. Infestation, light. Like I said, we'll come back to that. Mage hand, I don't think so. We've already got magic stone. Mending. No, I don't know that I want to make a gem that's all about mending. Message. Message has got potential. It's kind of like your psychic gem that you were talking about. It's just, how would it be structured? I feel like you would have, it's like a sending stone. I would wind up essentially just making a sending stone, so I'm not going to do that if I use message. So we'll leave it alone. Sending stones already exist. Mind Sliver, Minor Illusion, we'll leave Illusion Magic alone. Mold Earth. Oh. Mold Earth. No, leave that alone. poison spray, leave poison alone, prestidigitation. There might be something hidden in here that we can use. So the fire, snuff out thing, the cleaning, I don't think so. Oh. Alright, so this is, I think this is where we might be getting a little odd. I've made this sort of thing before. It just occurred to me. So we need to take this name here out. Cut it. We'll call it a frost pill. Okay, cool. So we'll go down here and we'll go paste, and then paste. This crystal, I was kind of leading in this way before, wasn't I? This crystal, lead away, friend. This crystal always remains cold, and if placed in liquid, food, or against a creature, it cools it. It lowers the temperature. But does no damage and doesn't freeze things. And it's a very, very common thing. Like it, look, you wouldn't have to worry too much about it. But I can see people using it to do some interesting things. It's one of those items. It's like having I guess, an everlasting ice cube, I guess. Right, we've got the cold crystal. Do I want to keep going down here? Swirling, no. Minor sensations, magic mark. No, let's leave all those alone. Okay, so we've got something out of that. Primal savagery. We've done Ray of Frost already. Resistance. I don't really want to keep giving people stuff through resistance. Too many magic items have resistance, and then we wind up with them being stacked, so we'll leave that alone. Shape water. Shillelagh. We've kind of already done that. It's a stone. We've done that. Shocking grasp. I would really like to be able to do something different with the energy gem that we made. We made like an energy crystal, and it just does damage basically. But I don't want to do anything with opportunity attacks. I don't even acknowledge they exist if I can help it. So what else could I do? I feel like if you get a shock, maybe you just can't do anything for a round. It'd be pretty strong, but it's still a one-off thing. Once you use it, it's done. Eliminating somebody's turn for a whole round is a lot, though. So maybe I should leave that alone. Okay, we'll leave that alone. I won't do it. I don't want to play around with opportunity attacks. I've been playing Shadow Dark 5e for so long, and there's opportunity attacks or attacks of opportunity, and then go to Shadow Dark and there's none. And me and my group have having to retrain ourselves not to think in terms of this. It's interesting. You do wind up with people moving around the battlefield a little bit more, but it's not as much as you might think. It certainly gives you the option. You don't have to worry about moving in and out, which is great because I don't think opportunity attacks should even function like that. And I've talked about this before. Anyway, Spare the Dying. A soul gem. I almost feel like it could kind of be like that. Like Spare the Dying, though, is a terrible cantrip. And I don't want to mess with things that stop you from really dying. If you're going to die, you're going to die. Unless you have like healing magic or you have time, get medical treatment or something. Starry Whisper, leave that alone, I think. Although, what is Starry Whisper? I don't even know what it does. Starry Whisper. Launch a mod of light. So it's basically radiant damage. From invisible condition. Whatever. Thaumaturgy, Thorn Whip, Thunderclap, Toll the Dead, True Strike, Vicious Mockery, Radiant Will. Okay, so none of those. Let's get rid of this. Let's go level 1. Okay. Alarm. Oh. What would you call it, though? A shrieking sapphire? It acts like an alarm. Shrieking sapphire. I could do that. We could do something like that. I think that would be interesting. Okay. Let's go here. This reminds me of a movie called 65 or 65 Million Years. And he had sort of these things he put up around the camp to deal with, you know, if there were intruders or things that are dangerous getting too close. So, Shrieking Sapphire. Okay, managed to spell it right. Well done, Fred. This gem. Makes a loud. Okay. Screeching sound if a hostile creature comes within 30 feet of it. Could it be as simple as that? It would have benefits, but there could be some downfalls. The 30 feet's not far. The spell itself, Alarm, I don't think it has a huge range. Range is 30 feet. Hang on. You set an alarm against intrusion, closed door, blah, 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 20-foot cube. Does Does it have any sort of real benefits? 30 feet is very close. Do you want to make it 60 feet? It's not really going away. It doesn't get used up, so it probably should have attunement attached to it. Requires attunement. Cut. Copy. So let's go here. Paste. Okay, this gem makes the loud screeching sound if a hostile creature comes within 30 feet of it. The sapphire, sapphire can be activated or deactivated as a free action. So that means that we don't have to worry about it being on all the time. So if you're trying to be quiet and calm and you wind up getting close to a creature, it doesn't wind up being like a cell phone on you that's been turned on and then going and making a buzzing noise or having a bell attached to it, and then it's giving you away. So you can use it when you need it to. I feel like that might be quite interesting. And 30 feet is not 60 feet, so that doesn't mean you're going to give away a lot of monsters doing their thing. It's probably more useful if you're having a camp and you're worried about the campsite. It's basically alarm, really. That's what it is. And we've just made it so that, okay, that should work fine. Okay, that's good. Happy with that. Well, let's go back to chat and see what you guys have cooked up. Oh, here we go. Diamond whetstone makes one non-magical weapon a +1 weapon or consumable. I'm not against that, but it has to have a time frame on it as well, right? So if it's basically like magic weapon, but that's not a bad idea, Shy X. So let's make a note of this one. I think I can draw that up pretty easily. Is magic weapon a level 1 spell in 5e? Doesn't matter for Shadow Dark because none of that really matters in the slightest, but I'm just wondering about 5e and just sort of how it would look. Pearlescent or iridescent stone attached to armor mirror clothes. Consume it, giving off a soft spectral gleaming trail. Your space is considered 1 light level higher. Cap it bright. I don't want to. Yeah, I know we need to have a stone or crystal that gives off light. But yeah, I'll get to that. Okay, snow crystal, snow gem. Your attacks or spells are cold damage. That's changing all your spells. Do you know that the ability to change the damage type in 5e is incredibly powerful? I'm always very conscious because I've played Wizards before with D&D, and when you can change the damage type of your spell and your attacks, whether it's piercing, bludgeoning, slashing, or fire damage, and then to cold, it's way too versatile. I mean, at least it's only to cold damage, right? Rather than pick a damage type. But I don't know that it's a good idea to make that. I'm just trying to think about that a little bit more. Because I've done this a lot. And I've always found it to be like a trump card. Like it's a no-brainer to do it. It's like, oh, somebody attacks me, I use the shield spell. Or somebody casts a spell, I counter spell. It's too good. Jester's Crystal Balls. A set of 3 to 4 balls. Use as a spellcasting focus and juggle disguising some somatic components. Requires both hands. Singing disguise for verbal components. Oh dear. Do you know I'm going to take one aspect of your because it reminds me of The Labyrinth with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. Who is it? Is it Jennifer Connelly? It is, isn't it? Oh, sod. Let's try it again. I think we should make a magic item like this, but I want to make it really odd. Like it gives you a benefit that is unrelated to spellcasting focuses. So I'm going to use it, but I have a Let's do this. If it just makes you good at juggling, that would be funny. I got it. Next. A liquid orb. An orb of water. It floats nearby and can interact seamlessly with liquids. Range out to 30 feet. It follows you if you move out. An orb of water. Well, we've made orbs before. This is a crystal, or a gem, or a pearl. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back and do those two ideas that I picked out from there, and see if we can't work them into something. Because I think we can. Man. You make adjustments, you think, oh, that's all good, we're doing fine, that's where it needed to be, and apparently it's not where it needed to be. So we're back here again. Oh, I'm smaller. Okay, so if I take the diamond whetstone, which is consumable, we need to decide how it's going to be used. Is there a formatting for this sort of thing that I need to be... It doesn't matter for a lot of systems, but 5e is very pedantic about how they word everything. This is the problem when I'm trying to make magic items and try to make something that you can use pretty much anywhere. Like, how do they format? Ultimately, it probably won't matter, but I guess. Okay, here we go. No. Okay. Oh, I see. Interesting. That's a different way of doing things. Okay, let's see. Let's build the diamond whetstone. So now I have to make sure that magic weapon is not too high a level. Don't know that we're going to find it easily that way, so let's just go over here and go magic weapon. Here we go. What is it? Okay, so it would be uncommon because it's level 2. It normally lasts an hour in its concentration. So let's get rid of concentration. Let's get rid of the bonus action. Let's get rid of a lot. Get rid of the touch attack. So yeah, okay, all right. I think I know what to do with this. Whetstone. So yeah. When to sorry term. Let's take let's do that. Let's take this one here. Okay, so it has to be UN. It doesn't have to be attunement because it is going to be used once. You can use an action to make one non-magical weapon a +1 magic weapon for 1 hour when you sharpen a blade on the stone. Okay, you can use an action to make one non-magical weapon a +1 magic weapon for 1 hour when you sharpen a blade on the stone. The wet stone is used up. The stone has 1 use and becomes mundane after. The whetstone has 1 use and becomes and then comes. Okay, so we don't need to attune to it. It's 1 use. Do it. Done. Over. Yeah, I think that'll work. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's fine. Uncommon because it's a level 2 spell. Yep, that's all good. All right, so let's take this Jester's crystal thing. And what have we got here? I think we should go with attunement. Or maybe not. Oh, I have an idea. It's floating around in my head. Paste. Okay. Jester's crystal balls. Bold. Wondrous magic item. These. A set of 3D4 crystal balls. A set of 3D6 transparent balls. Set of 3D4. Why do 3D4? That's a lot. Let's go less. I think. Oh, see, I know he's gone with 3 because you will always get at least. If you roll a 1 each time, you're going to get at least 3 balls, but you could have up to 12 balls. Okay, I understand. I see why you've gone 3D4. Makes a lot of sense. For a minute there, I was going to change it, and I realised that's not a good idea at all. What you've done there is actually very smart. So we don't mess with it. Set 3D4, 3D4 transparent balls. That when juggled with never hit the ground before falling. Interesting asset. I don't know what balls that when juggled or thrown. Never hit the ground and can always be caught before falling. It's a very weird magic item. Okay. Crystal lights. Okay, so what are we doing next? We need to keep going, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't know what to do with those. Go over here. Okay, so we did alarm. I don't want to do friendship. I don't want to do that either. Bane. No, I don't think that works. Bless. Bless is a thing. I can see bless being a possibility. But we've done it so many times, and I almost feel like bless is one of those spells where, I mean, at least you're helping others, I guess, and not yourself. But it's such a good spell, and it's such a low-level spell. It's kind of like a no-brainer to use. Does it make sense to have a crystal that's like a blessing? Oh. Can we go like a blessing as into you put the crystal like a blessing bead? Let's make a blessing bead and you put it into water, a certain amount of water, and it turns it into holy water. Yes, let's do that. Blessing bead. Bead. Okay. Doesn't have to need attunement. That's not necessary. Let's go here. I think we can go common rather than uncommon. Yeah, let's go with this. Copy. Paste. When you place this small bead into normal water, it dissolves and makes I don't know, makes one cubic feet of water. No, that's probably too much. Makes 1 cup of water. Makes one. That's a better idea. Cup of water. Okay. I need to restructure this. Makes. Okay. When you place the small bead into 1 cup of normal water, it dissolves and makes it holy water. What about that? That's not too bad. That's just like a flask of holy water, but you're using a bead to create it. I don't think that's a big deal. There aren't that many things that allow you to create holy water, but this bead would. That's what we'll do. We'll put that in. That's done. Great. Let's go back to the chat, see where we're at. Another Another set of ideas. I still haven't figured out what to do with the gem, the soul gem, and the other thing. It's very sort of Avengers, isn't it? Okay, so it looks like there's no more ideas. So it looks like I'm going to go through my list and just keep plugging away until I come up with something else. Who knows what that might be? It'll be interesting to see. Let's see. List of spells, lights. We could do that. That's going to be a piece of cake. We could do that easy some of the time. Okay. All right. So we've got that. What else we've got? So blessing. We did blessing. Burning hands. We don't need to worry about that because we've got the fire. Is the fire ruby? I think it is. Pretty sure we called it a fire ruby. Yeah, fire ruby. Exactly. So we got a fire ruby already. Hands, catapult, no, ceremony, chaos bolt. None of those sort of sing to me. Charm person, I'm going to leave charm person alone. Or charm whatever. Chromatic orb. I don't want to do acid. I've done cold. I've done fire. I've done lightning. I don't want to do poison. I really don't think that... Okay. So none of that really sort of works. Let's just move on. Keep going. Color spray. Command. Command. No. Let's do this. So what we want to do is we want to have a gem or something that you can see through, or a crystal that allows you to see through it and be able to read text that you wouldn't normally understand by just looking through it, like a glass. So let's take that, paste it. Decipher something. A decipher gem, decipher pearl, decipher stone, decipher crystal, decipher glass, decipher something. Diamond, crystal. Okay. When you look through, now I think what we will have to do is, this isn't going to be a single use. I am going to make this something you can continue to reuse. Things that allow players to decipher and understand something they don't that they can't read and see, is a great way for a dungeon master, game master, to keep things moving. So I always like to lean into those a bit more. When you look through crystal at written text or symbols, you understand the written language. Okay, so when you look through the crystal at written text or symbols, you understand. It's not it's their meaning. There. Is it there? I don't think that's the right there though. It seems like the wrong there. Isn't that a there for a? I don't know. Anyway, okay. When you look through the crystal at written text or symbols, you understand their meaning. I've said text and symbols, so that should cover pretty much everything that we want it to include. And we can keep it as common. Requires attunement. Got it. Sweet. Awesome. Let's try another one. That worked out well. That was actually pretty easy. Create or destroy water. It would be interesting to have a crystal that just sucks water into it, but I don't know that I want to do that. I almost feel like it's... If I want it to destroy water, do I want it to create it? I can see the problem is that somebody would use a crystal like that and assume that they could suck all of the water out of an ocean. How many problems will that cause for you? Probably too many. Okay, we'll leave that alone. I mean, I could set limits on it, but I don't. Yeah, let's leave it alone. Cure wounds. Okay, so you might have noticed that I do not make a lot of magic items on these live streams that allow you to recover hit points. It's very uncommon. But let's make one. Let's create a magic item that restores hit points. Do we want to call it a cure crystal? Healing crystal? Healing something? Healing stone? Let's make it just to call it is it a healing stone? Healing stone? Healing stone. Healing pearl. Gem. Stone. Crystal. Healing stone. I think we'll make it a healing stone. Okay. So I want it to have a single use. I want it to have a very small effect. Yeah. So let's take this. I think we can take this here. Go here. Paste. While holding this stone, or pressing it against a creature's forehead, it restores 1 hit point. That's it. Full stop. And then the stone disappears once it has been used. That's it. So we've just created a healing magic thing. It can be common because it's cure wounds. Doesn't matter for Shadow Dark because nobody's going to give a toss about whether it's common, uncommon, or anything like that because that doesn't even apply. It's based off cure wounds, which is a lot stronger. You would say that this is actually probably weaker than a healing potion. Potion of healing. Like, what is the deal with a potion of healing? I wonder, I'm pretty sure potion of healing is a little bit higher than... Healing 5e. Let's see. What do we got here? Yeah. We've got that, but that's not what I want to know. What I want to know is this. Varies. So common is 1d4 plus 1. Okay, so that means this crystal is actually a lot weaker than a potion of healing. But do we need to give them a lot of hit points? I think that's the next question is, does it really need to restore as much as a potion of healing? Because if we make it just like a potion of healing, it basically is just a potion of healing. Might as well just have a potion of healing, right? But if we make it so that it's weaker, it is slightly different in its nature. Whether you get one of these or you get a potion of healing, ultimately in the end it doesn't matter that much. To be fair, you know, 1 hit point makes a big difference if you're playing 5e. If you're playing 5e or even 2025 and you're on 0 hit points, getting 1 hit point back is a big deal because you're now conscious rather than unconscious. That's good, right? And in Shadow Dark, it's the same. It's actually a big deal. And there's no negative tracking for Pathfinder, if I remember right, for hit points. A lot of systems just sort of go to 0 and they don't track into the negatives. So actually, this is fine. This is fine the way it is. It could be as simple as just 1 hit point. Doesn't need to be on the same power level as a potion. Okay, so we've done that. Well done. Cool, cool. Detect evil and good with a crystal. Do we want that to be a thing? I don't know. I am tempted to do something with detect magic, though. I really am. I would like a crystal or a gem that allows you to detect magic, or at least see things as being magical. You can tell that something's magical if you look through the gem. I've got a whole lot of stuff already that's sort of in that vein, so maybe I'll just deal with that later. And we try to do something a little bit different. Okay, what else have we got here? I'm going to come back to chat in a second and see what you guys have cooked up. No, disguise self. A gem and disguise self? No, I don't feel like that's the right thing, isn't it? Not really. Disguise self. Detect poison. I feel like gems might potentially be a big thing for detecting stuff. That's actually probably not a bad idea. Detecting poison. I'm going to have a think about it. What would be good is if you could have a gem or a stone or a pearl that removed poison from something. That you could just drop in there and just remove the poison. That would be good. It's sort of like a... what do you call it? It's like, would you swallow it? It would be like a pill, wouldn't it? Okay, I have to think about this a bit more. Chewable. Chewable gem. Remove poison. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure this would be lesser restoration as an effect in 5e. So it's a bit stronger than you would normally. Yeah, it's not really common. Okay, keep going. Distort value. Distort value. It's an illusion. 8 hours. I can see a lot of tomfoolery occurring with this. Not necessarily a bad thing. Ensnaring strike, entangle. I don't know. Is a gem really related to that? Expeditious retreat, not really. Fairy fire. It would be kind of nice to have a gem that allow you to see invisible creatures, but that's definitely going above being very simple and common and low powered. I think isn't see invisibility in 5e like it's at least a 2 or 3, level 2 or 3, I can't remember. I think it's level 2. Okay. See invisibility. See invisibility. No, no, no. Here we go. This is the spell. See invisibility reveals invisible creatures. It is a second level spell. It would be uncommon. Let's make it. We might as well. It feels like it is one of the no-brainer things that you would wind up wanting to make. So we had a thing that allowed you to look through it and look at text. So we can take this structure here and it needs to be called something. Oh, we need a name for this thing. If you're going to be looking at invisible creatures, you need to have a name. Uncommon. Do we want it to require attunement? In other words, is it going to be single use and that's it? Problem is, when would you know to use it? So that's the biggest issue. The name of this is the problem. I don't know what it would. What would you call it? Something like that. When you look through this through the crystal, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible. That's it. It's a nice simple effect. I'm not going to put a time limit on it. It is uncommon though. We need a name for it though. Honestly, I'm not too sure what you would call it. No idea. You guys are going to have to figure that one out. Okay, so we've done that. False life, featherfall. We've got so many things that deal with featherfall, and another gem or boots or whatever the heck is that featherfall. I'm so over featherfall right now, so we'll leave that alone. What else can we do? I didn't make it, as you might have noticed, I didn't make any mention to the ethereal plane or ghosts or anything. I just said invisible creatures. I didn't really want to go any further than that. So I'm not trying to do a lot. A crystal that has a familiar in it. I don't know that I want to do a summoning. There's so many summoning gems and stones already. Like if you have a look at there's a bunch of stuff that's around sort of spells been trapped in a gem with various power levels. I don't really want to do any of that. Okay, what else have we got here? Fog cloud. Well, we had a smoke bomb, which was basically an orb that you broke that had smoke in it, right? Do we need to have a crystal that allows you to do that? I don't know that we need to do that. Do we really need to do that? We could. Fog cloud. Well, what would it be called? That's the question. A cloud crystal, a fog gem. If I build it, will it create a whole lot of problems? I feel like we could probably do something with fog cloud. I don't know what you would do with it exactly. I'm going to make sure I put some parameters into something like this. crystal. Okay, let's do that. We probably need to use an action for this. Probably have to use something like this to make it work. And just, okay. Let's take this one. Go copy. What are different types of gems? I am unsure. I'll just call it fog crystal for now. Cloud crystal. Fog crystal, cloud crystal, fog crystal, gold. I don't know. Let's just do that for now. Copy. We've got cold. And this is a crystal. So when you use an action to throw the crystal on the ground within 30 feet, this crystal shatters, releasing a 40-foot 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on the point crystal. It's releasing a 20-foot radius, sphere of fog centered on a point within range. There's no attack roll. You just use your action. You create it. It's done. And once it's done, it can't be used again because it is shattered. And we don't need to state that because it has shattered. It isn't going to be coming back, so there's no point saying that da 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 da. So we don't really have to do that. I'm pretty happy with that. That should work. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's try again. See what chat has to say. Oh, we've got a few. Hello, how's it going, Negative Space? How you doing? Consumables once, same as the ice crystal. I don't want to do that though. Jewel, moonstone set in silver, protection from lycanthropy, but not a cure. Oh, okay. I actually like the idea of the moonstone. Hello, Fred Hubert. You, I thought you were busy. I know you were listening, but yeah. I'm all for making the moonstone. Let's make the moonstone. Oh, bums. Let's try it again. Maybe it's not a cure, but maybe it will stall it. I'm up for that. Appears, what do you got here? Shy X. Appears electronic crystal, all taxons. I don't want to do that again, even if it is consumable. Lava crystal, all attacks. Nah. Bouncy gem, if you attach it to your... Yes, that's a little contrived. The gem becomes soft crystal shades. Oh, you see invisible creatures. Oh, crystal shades. Crystal shades. I kind of know where you're going with this. I'm just trying to figure out if that is the name that we're going to nail it down to. Crystal shades, crystal shard, crystal. It's hard. It's hard to pick apart what you would call it. Maybe we just need to call it something simple and to say it is a crystal, or it is a gem of detect invisibility. Oh yeah. Let's just keep it simple. Let's have a look how. So, okay, let's make a mark there. I'm up to that. So now I have to make this moonstone, don't I? Let's make the moonstone. So I just decide, okay, we'll just gem of detect invisibility. I'm just going to call it that. Detect see invisibility. There, done. Don't get too fancy, Fred. Moonstone. Okay. Let's take our moonstone and create a magic item with it. I don't want to make an amulet. You have to be. Here we go. I know what to do. We'll do this. Paste. Common. Needs to be attunement. Copy. Take that down. Paste. Moonstone. Okay. While holding or carrying the stone, while holding or carrying the stone, you are immune to the lycanthrope curse and can't be transformed into and can't transform into a lycanthrope. It is not a cure. Okay. While holding or carrying the stone, you are immune to the lycanthrope cure and can't transform into a lycanthrope. So it's really suppressing it, but it's not completely getting rid of it. I like that idea. Is that reasonable? Is it uncommon? Or is it common? Lycanthrope's a big deal. You're essentially immune to something, and it's the lycanthrope curse, not cure, curse. Yeah, okay, all right. I think that's good enough. I think that's what we were after. I still need to do the light and detect magic one, the chewable gem, remove poison. Maybe I'll do that as well. Maybe I haven't done as many as I'd hoped, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The more and more I look at this energy crystal, the more and more I want this to do something else, because the frost pearl stopped you from moving, but I really want this other one to do something else as well. Okay, let's reduce the damage. Okay, on a hit, one creature or object takes 1d4 lightning damage and can't do anything for 1 round. It's as if you have been shocked. Yep, we'll do that. It is basically, it's going to be gone once you use it. It'd be a big deal. Yes, if you used it against a big monster, it would be a big deal. It would have a huge effect. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but stopping them from doing anything for 1 round. Is a vibrating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we did 15, potentially 16, 17, 18 maybe, once we get, when I do the rest. I think that is about as much time as I'm going to put into today. If there are any other ideas, I'll grab them off the chat. Angry quartz consolidates gems into a single quartz. As an action, you can distribute any number of gems. Oh, it's like turning. That's actually a smart idea. Hungry quartz. I like that idea a lot. It's kind of like making a what do you call it? A bag of holding, but only for gems. And that's actually quite clever. It's really specific. Oh, snot. Let's do it again. Come on. Okay. I like that idea a lot, Shy-X. Snow globe beautifully depicts a happy, snowy memory, consumable, thrown and creates difficult terrain. Snow globe is a globe, so it needs to be called something else other than a snow globe. It needs to be called something else. Snow crystal, snow pearl, snow sapphire, something like that. Yeah, I can see something that we could do. Yeah, we could do something with that. I'll take a note of that one as well. Awesome. There we go. I will end this poll because scribes, I can throw evolutionary script once per day. Okay, let's just end this poll. Have you made magic gems, pearls, or crystals for your tabletop role-playing games? Yes, 61%. Well, if you've been in this live stream, you probably have now. No, 38%. Incomplete, just watching. 13 votes, okay. Controlled prism. When light passes through it, the wielder can choose what color is reflected through it. That's an interesting idea. I hadn't, yeah. I'll have to make a note of that as well. Okay, cool. Awesome. I know I seem like I'm ending early, but I'm tired. My brain is sort of fried, and I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks, so there'll be no live streaming for a while I am doing other things. While I'm on holiday, I'll probably be doing a lot of gardening, a lot of gym, trying to work out and look after myself a bit better, and probably doing a lot of monster making for Shadow Dark, particularly the monsters that aren't in the core rulebook. So that's probably what I'll be doing. More than likely not during the day, because that's where my gardening time is, and that's where my walking and gym time is going to be, and doing whatever I want to do. So yes, that's the plan, and I'm going to get going. So thank you for watching and listening. I do appreciate it. Thank you for taking part in the poll if you took part in the poll. Thanks to everybody in chat who shared their ideas. Shy X in particular, thank you very much. Negative Space, thanks for chiming in. Fred Huber, do appreciate it. And I believe we had Cameron here. Derp was also here. Donuts the Mighty was also here. And if I missed your name, I do apologise. I was not intending to miss you out, okay? I plan to go and have a good time. I want to thank all my patrons who support me on Patreon, because without them, I could not do this. I'm going to keep doing stuff, so you're still probably going to get stuff on Patreon, but it's probably going to be a big, huge flood after 2 weeks. After my holidays, you'll probably wind up getting a big, huge document of God knows what the heck I've put together. So be prepared for that one. At least you won't be getting a steady stream of emails. I guess that's better. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, make your own magic items. You can do it. You can make your own stuff. And it will be all right. Just think small and apply them slowly. Until next time, keep rolling those 20s.